is called Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Seahorse. There's so many colors. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. They're kind of moving this way. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Can you wiggle? Good job. Wait, wiggling. Wiggle. It's time for me to lay my eggs, she said. Can I help? Mr. Seahorse asked. Oh, yes, thank you, said Mrs. Seahorse. And she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. All the eggs went into Mr. Seahorse, the daddy. I'll take good care of our eggs, Mr. Seahorse said. I promise.
Eggs.
He has the eggs. He has the big belly. Does your daddy have a big belly when there's a baby?
Yes.
No, who has the big belly?
Mommy.
Mommy has a big belly, yes. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Whoa, look at that. It's so cool. It's like a window. Ooh. A group of trumpet fish hidden in a patch of reeds. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Stickleback. Delighted, replied Mr. Stickleback. I just built a nest. And right away, Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. There are the eggs on Mr. Stickleback. Oh.
I go back.
Keep up the good
I
work.
go back.
Stickleback.
I go back.
Almost, said Mr. Seahorse and swam on his way. He's got all the eggs. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Whoa, that's like, what do we call these? Like coral or seaweed, maybe? Some kind of seaweed. A lionfish hidden behind a coral reef. Oh, it's coral. It is coral. Lionfish. Roar. Are you scared? Does he look like a lion? I think he looks like a zebra. Do you know zebra? Yeah, it's white and black. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. He has eggs in his mouth. Is he eating them?
Yes.
No, he's not eating them. I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs. Now you are taking good care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. He can't talk. He has eggs in his mouth. You must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by.
Tree.
It looks like a tree or a plant, but it's in the sea, so it's called a seaweed. A pair of leaf fish hidden among the seaweed. Oh, they look like a leaf. Can you say leaf?
Yes.
Yeah. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Curtis? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Perfectly fine, replied Mr. Curtis. Mrs. Curtis laid her eggs, and I have stuck them on my head.
Upside down.
He has eggs on his head. Oh, Mr. Seahorse is upside down. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. You are doing a good job, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. Why is he upside down? As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. What's that? Is it a mountain or a rock? Maybe a rock or not. Gently by a stonefish hidden behind a rock. Good job, rock. Stonefish. He looks like a rock. Sometimes rocks are stones. Does he look like a stone? Stone. He's so ugly, I think. So ugly. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Pipe? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Couldn't be better, replied Mr. Pipe. Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly.
No, milk.
Look at all the eggs. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch.
What did I
You should feel proud of yourself, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Bullhead? Whoa. Are those his babies?
Yes.
Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs, and the eggs hatched.
It is a big fish.
It's a big fish, and the babies came out of the fish. Now I'm babysitting. You are doing a fine job, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. The time had come for the seahorse babies to be born. Wow, they're so cute. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted. Can you wiggle?
Baby.
At last, the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch
There's a
and tried to come back into the pouch. Oh no, said Mr. Seahorse. I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own.